This October on stream, I allowed myself, for the most part, to play horror games to celebrate Halloween. These games range from old releases, new releases, and remakes. While playing these games, I thought it would be interesting to rank these games not on their overall quality, but on the ability to scare the player. With all that being said, I present to you the biggest wimp on YouTube ranks the scariest 6 games he played in October 2024. Also, I want to really quick mention that all the footage you see in this video is from previous VODs or playthroughs that I have on the channel. So if you enjoy the videos you see while I'm talking about these games, please feel free to go drop a follow or watch those videos. The support really helps me out and it also means the world. Coming in 6th place, I have Little Nightmares. The original plan for my October slate of games was to either play new releases like Silent Hill 2 Remake or slowly ramp up to the scariest games of all time as the month went on. So the Little Nightmares series was meant to be the icebreaker of the month, and I knew that going in. I have played these games prior and never felt that they were scary, just more freaky, kind of like a Tim Burton movie. I love the world of Little Nightmares, and I found myself having a pretty good time, even if I mostly knew what was around the corner. I love how the game depicts scale. So many moments where the game reminds you how small you are and kind of leaves this feeling of hopelessness the further you play. The game only took me around 3 to 4 hours to beat, so it was a quick journey, but one I fairly enjoyed, just not very scary. In 5th place, I have the Until Dawn remake. Now, I know there was a lot of controversy around this game because in terms of remakes, it wasn't the most necessary, but I really just wanted to revisit this game, and the remake gave me an excuse to do so. I think Until Dawn is a great horror game. And even though I had played this game before as well, I still found some moments here and there putting me on edge and even scaring me. But even when I played this, I was younger, and I never felt that this game was super scary. More of just constant suspense. Besides the telescope jump scares, fuck those things. However, no matter how many times I play this game, the real fear will always come from trying to keep my favorite characters alive through the whole story. And that's what I found to be the most thrilling part of this playthrough. Not remember if doing option A was better than option B, or vice versa. It's a feeling not many games can capture, and if they do, it never feels as good as it does in this game. I mean, just look at the other supermassive games that try to capture that same magic. As a remake, this game left quite a lot to be desired, but if this is your first time visiting this world, it was pretty fun and there are some good scares. Now for this next game, I might get some slack, but this game just didn't scare me as much as I thought it would. And that game is Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I will never forget the time when this game ruled the internet. You could not go a single day in the YouTube gaming space without seeing a YouTuber playing the scariest game ever. It was insane, and because of this, I have always lived my life under the belief that this game was the scariest game ever made. I tried playing it several times growing up, but was never able to build the courage because of all the buzz that was around while I was growing up. But after playing another game that is on this list, I felt like I could overcome anything. So I finally decided to play Amnesia: The Dark Descent. And while I think the atmosphere is unmatched and probably the best or second best on this list, the scares and chase sequences are extremely dated. Obviously, if I'm ranking this game based on game quality, I wouldn't judge it so harshly because the game is a product of its time. But when ranking the game by scares, while there were some good ones, most of the time I just was kind of enjoying the atmosphere and the story of this mysterious castle. Amnesia: The Dark Descent is a good game with good scares. It's just not as scary as you may remember. Alrighty, to kick off our top 3, I have the least favorite game I played in October, and that is Amnesia Rebirth. I want to really quickly state that this is still a good game. I just wasn't entirely on board with the story and kind of felt myself mentally tapping out about halfway through the game. The story didn't entirely engage me, and the collectible notes on the side were far too confusing for me to care. But on a scale factor, I was really impressed with how this game manages its jump scares. I went into this game expecting to have faced the worst of the Amnesia franchise. I had played and beat the other two by the time I got to this one, so I felt prepared, but man, I would be lying if I said the beginning monster encounter didn't scare the ever-living shit out of me. Scares that actually made my heart sink into my stomach. I don't even think the monster design is as scary as the other two Amnesia games, but the way they use the monster in the beginning half of this game, I think is very well done. This game wasn't entirely for me, but if you like to be scared and sci-fi horror, this is definitely the way to go. In 2nd place, and the newest game on this list, I have Silent Hill 2 Remake. I absolutely loved this game. This game doesn't have those classic jump scare moments that the Amnesia series has, but the way it builds tension and the way it handles the unknown is so incredible and something I've never seen executed as well as this game. I've always been a firm believer that in anything horror related, less is more. I think sometimes letting the player imagine what's hiding and lurking in an abandoned hospital or city is scarier than what's revealed. And Silent Hill 2 Remake does that very well. There are, of course, some jump scare moments, but at its core, that's not what Silent Hill 2 Remake is. If you decide to play this game, just let yourself sink into this world and hear the nasty or creepy sounds. Embrace that feeling of constantly being followed or watched by something, and you'll probably share a very similar experience to what I had. I hated every second of that. This game was absolutely incredible, and even talking about the world of Silent Hill, I feel like I need to go take a hot, warm shower. But finally, we have made it to the number one game on the list. A game I personally feel has not received its flowers in the public eye, and the game I describe as the game that broke horror for me personally. That game is Five Nights at Freddy's. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. The real game is Amnesia the Bunker. I have a long and deep history with Amnesia the Bunker, despite it only being 1 year old. This game was released day one on Xbox Game Pass, and with the name Amnesia slapped on it, I really wanted to experience it. I booted this game up for the first time and played about 30 minutes and had an anxiety attack. And while I told my friends I would eventually play it, I uninstalled it and didn't even think ever again about touching this game. That was until a few months later, where I tried to play it again, and within minutes, I found myself with the same results I had the first time. So when October rolled around this year, I thought in my head, what if someone requests Amnesia the Bunker? What will I do? And to that answer, I said, stall. I thought, no way am I going to be able to play this game on stream. I'd never beat it. And then that day came. Amnesia the Bunker was requested, and I said, no, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm not playing Amnesia Bunker. No. 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 I thought about pushing it off until the end of October, but instead I fought the beast, and in my first playthrough, I hid in a room with a locked door for 30 minutes, telling the monster to shake its ass while I cranked my flashlight. He might be in the other room just waiting for my cute ass. Dude, if I crank it, you better shake it, though. I guess what I'm saying. That was fun. After some good night's sleep, I woke up the next day and felt rejuvenated and ready to go. And while it took a few days of streaming me endlessly walking around a bunker, I finally beat it. I faced my fears, and I can safely say that I will probably never revisit this game again. Don't get it twisted. This is one of my favorite horror games ever made. But the amount of anxiety and dread you feel exploring this bunker is a feeling that no game I think will ever be able to replicate. This game has elements you love from every horror game. A monster that roams freely like in Alien Isolation. Inventory management very similar to what you would see in the Resident Evil series. Strategy you'd find in some of the best strategy games. And lastly, a flashlight that is louder than my dogs barking at the wall at 3 a.m.
Speak! Fuck! Good boy.
It is such a fine-tuned package that only takes about 8 hours to beat. And through those 8 hours, you will feel terrified to progress in the slightest. But when you finally complete that objective or figure out a route to get by the monster, you feel so rewarded to have finally taken that next step. It's truly incredible. Amnesia the Bunker is the scariest game I have ever played in my life. Well, that was my list of the scariest games I played in October of this year. I want to real quick remind everyone that this is just my opinion. Horror is a very subjective thing. What scares me may not scare you, and that is fine. That's what makes the genre so cool. And on top of all that, I would love to know what your guys' most scared games are, scariest games are, or if you played horror games this October, what games this month scared you as bad or worse than me, or maybe I'm just a wimp and you guys don't get scared by playing games. I would love to hear your guys' personal opinions on all the horror games that have released and some you have played this month. If you guys enjoyed the video, please feel free to drop a like or follow on this video. The support means the entire world to me. It would be greatly appreciated. So if you like the content and you want to see more, feel free to show some love. Thank you guys. With all that being said, have a great morning, night, afternoon, wherever or whenever you guys are watching this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.